This video demonstrates how to operate the 2D axis systems in the report panel of DIAdem. You will find more details about the display modes in separate videos. Double-click the axis system to open the main dialog box for curve and axis definition. This dialog box lists the channels you want to display in the axis system and shows which channels are displayed, which display type is used, in which color the channels are drawn, and to which y-axis the channels are assigned. You can add new channels, or copy, delete, or move the curve entries in the list. It is also possible to enable and configure a curve legend. Use the different tabs to access more settings for the 2D axis system. Set the axis parameters and grids on the Axis System tab. For example, Display defines the grid type. Use the other settings on this tab to define the colors for the axes, the background, and the grid, as well as the line properties. The Minitick grid subdivides the main grid. If you are using multiple y-axes, the Align sub-axis ticks to grid parameter helps you adjust the labeled ticks on the grid of the first y-axis. Use Axis Position to change the properties of the x and y-axes. You can create new y sub-axes on the right and the left side of the axis system. The Axis Parameters tab offers detailed settings for the individual x and y axes. For each x or y axis, you can set the scaling, number display, and labels. For example, if you choose scaling, you can set different scaling types or modes. Depending on your selection, you can set additional parameters. On the Position tab, you can define the exact position of the axis system on the current layout page. If you double-click a sub-object of the 2D axis system, you can directly access the corresponding settings dialog box, for example, for scaling the first y-axis. Click once to select a sub-object. Depending on the sub-object you select, you can modify the settings belonging to that sub-object. For example, if you select the number display, you can interactively adjust the corresponding scaling. Or you can change the position and size of the axis by selecting the y-axis. You can also change the legend interactively, for example, move it, and adjust it to the size of the axis system. Double-click the legend to open the Legend Settings dialog box. You can access all legend properties on the different tabs. The default setting corresponds to the most frequently used configuration, and automatically aligns the legend items. You can also specify a legend title on the Labels tab. If you want to display more information about a channel, go to the General tab to enable the Extended Legend settings. You can also drag and drop additional information from the data portal to the legend. Please also have a look at the other videos on topics related to DIAdem and Data Finder. And Carpe DIAdem.